It's the Monday edition of Litter Media Live, and welcome to a new month. It is June 2nd of 2025. I'm Dan Ramey, and in today for Mike Smith is that guy, Aaron Glandon, who survived his bachelor weekend.
I did.
So congratulations. I know you weren't told where you were going to be taken to, but you have divulged where that location was.
Yeah, we went to Nashville. And I actually found out about 5 minutes into the car ride because one of my guys spoiled it. We were riding through Yoctangi Park, and it was raining. And I said, we couldn't have picked a better weekend to do this. And he said, well, I think the weather in Nashville is supposed to be nice this weekend.
That's nothing like blurting it out, huh?
I was sitting shotgun, and I turned and looked at him, and I could just see him trying to keep a straight face.
Now, if everyone would have thought this through, they would have changed the location. They would have taken you to Atlanta or something like that.
Well, I had one of my guys lives in Atlanta, so he drove up, and the rest of us drove down.
Then he'd have been disappointed.
Yeah.
I'll just drive back.
Yeah.
So, well, glad you had a good time. And no one was taken to jail, nothing like that?
Nothing like that.
No, it was pretty boring.
Yep.
You say the Country Music Hall of Fame was closed?
We got there around 4, thinking, because it closes at 5, and we thought we would just spend an hour there, but they weren't selling tickets anymore, so we didn't get to go.
So you go to a museum hoping to see everything in 60 minutes.
Well, we were at the Parthenon before that, so.
Gotcha. All right. Well, glad you had a good time. And we'll be searching for news from Nashville to see if there's anything he's not told us here today. We can tell you that the weather here is fantastic over the weekend, and it's starting off pretty well. We're looking at sunshine right now, even as we speak, right through Wednesday. Temperatures will gradually get warmer as well. When I say warmer, I mean hot. 77 for your Monday high. Will be in the mid-80s tomorrow and Wednesday. And then there is a chance of rain each day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But that's pretty much how it goes. When it starts to get summer-like, we run those risks of showers. So it's not like a 100% chance. It's around the 40% chance, I think. So we'll keep our eye on the forecast for you. You keep an ear on us, as we used to say on the radio. All right, coming up in a moment to look at what's making news for us, a look at sports, and this date in history is all just around the corner on this edition of Litter Media Live, brought to you in part by your trusted comfort advisor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website at littermedia.com, and it takes you right to their website, AccurateHVAC.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
The spring sales event continues at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. While supplies last, you can get new riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. Are you texting someone to let them know that
Yes.
this is going on? New walk-behind mowers starting at $399.99. New chainsaws starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99. And new trimmers starting at $229.99. Now, keep in mind that the selection continues to dwindle because they're going out the door. If you want to find out more, stop in at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Check them out online, hometown-motors.com. But Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors. And remember, on Mondays, they're only open until 2 o'clock. So don't hesitate today. All right, starting off with news today, you can find on our website, littermedia.com. That photo is coming up in just a moment. We'll share details right now. State of Ohio will award $50 million in grants to support construction and renovation projects at 19 local jails across the state, and that includes Ross County getting $400,000 to help out. Highland County, $379,000. Hocking County gets $6.7 million. And Pickaway County receives $4.4 million. Now, this photo is from a tour we took with Ross County Sheriff George Lavender a few years back when they started doing renovations to the Ross County jail. And now they'll have more money to help them get some work done there.
Yeah. ArtsaRound, a local nonprofit supporting the arts, announces Aubree Walker as the winner of the 2025 Collegiate Art Scholarship. Aubree is a recent graduate of Logan Elm High School and was nominated by her teacher, Heath Bennett. This scholarship in its inaugural year is awarded to a local student who is pursuing professional instruction in any form of art at the post-secondary level. This scholarship was competitive with submissions from 4 county high schools.
Good news out in Bainbridge. The area food ministry organization known as J216 now owns the location they've been serving from for years at 3920 U.S. Route 50 in Bainbridge. There you see in front of the title agency there, one of the fellas, the guy with the white beard there, that's DJ Krivak, who we've had on the show here before. The organization is thanking God along with the Michael Tissot Charitable Foundation and the Rent to Own family for making this possible. They also wanted to thank Bainbridge Church of Christ for giving them this opportunity. I tell you, they've done a lot of work in not just in the Bainbridge area, but into Chillicothe as well, and surrounding areas of the backwoods, and spreading the word of the Lord, but also receiving a number of people when they come to drop things off. Now, in the past, they had to shut down at this location because the owner at that point in time was going to plan to use it for something else. God had other plans. Yep. So congratulations to our friends at the J216 ministry.
It's almost time to show off your livestock projects at the 2025 Fayette County Fair. 4-H livestock participants need to make sure your livestock entries are submitted through fair entry by June the 6th. They still have several members who haven't registered their livestock projects yet. Additional reminders may also come via text, email, or posted in the FFA Google Classroom. The Fayette County Fair in Washington Courthouse runs July 14th through the 19th.
The 2025 sales tax holiday will run for 2 full weeks, beginning at 12 midnight on Friday, August 1st, and ending at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, August 14th. Back in 2024, Governor DeWine and the Ohio General Assembly expanded the sales tax holiday to include more items and run for a longer period. So instead of the usual 3 days, it lasted 10 days and was expanded to include a wide range of items up to $500 rather than limited to just school supplies. So congratulations. Here's an opportunity to save some money and receive some of that sales tax back in a way.
Yeah. The Chillicothe Civic Youth Theatre will host auditions for their fall youth production of Charlotte's Web. This heartwarming story of friendship, bravery, and a very special spider is open to all rising K through 8th graders. Show dates are September 11th through the 14th. Auditions will be held at Chillicothe Orchard Hill United Church of Christ Monday, June 16th and Tuesday, June 17th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. This is not a musical, just storytelling, character work, and lots of fun on stage.
Did you tell me that you performed in Charlotte's Web in school?
I don't think so.
Why was I thinking that?
I don't know.
You were in other productions, though, weren't you?
Yeah.
I was thinking Charlotte's Web was one of them.
No.
So, but what plays were you in?
I was in Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
I was in, it was called Honk, and it was the story of the Ugly Duckling. And then I was in the Addams Family.
The Addams Family. Okay. Yes. But not Charlotte's Web.
No.
I was thinking for some reason you were in that.
The Ugly Duckling one had a lot of barnyard animals, so maybe that's what you're thinking of.
That could be. Were you a pig in that?
No, I was the Ugly Duckling.
You were the Ugly Duckling?
Yes.
And look at him today. He's a swan. Women of the NAACP Committee of the Ross County NAACP will host a Juneteenth Celebrate the Day of Freedom coming up on June 19th in Yoctangi Park at the Lions Shelter. That'll be from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. that day. And they'll have a fish fry along with hamburgers and hot dogs for kids. And no doubt they'll share some history, I would imagine, for what Juneteenth is all about. Our road report takes us to Interstate 71 in Pickaway County as a widening project at Carson Road above I-71. This section is closed through mid-July for bridge rehabilitation. The detour is Carson Road to London Road and US 62 or reverse in that action as well. All right, coming up, we'll take a look at our high school weekend from sports. Details on that and more coming up in just a bit. But first, let's talk about Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. If you have a dumpster that you would need at your home or maybe your business, they can handle that for you. Give them a call and let them know more. 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Now on to sports as we take a look at our high school baseball and softball weekend, and the Southeastern Panthers made some news with a win. Their first ever district baseball crown, a 2-1 victory over Waterford Sunday in Division 6. Panthers scored runs in the 4th and 5th innings, while Waterford's rally came up short in the 7th, scoring their lone run and stranding a tying run at third base. Joey Pfeiffer got the win on the mound, twirling a 2-hitter while fanning 7 batters. Southeastern now faces Eastern Megs, and I believe they were the ones that defeated Huntington, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That'll be Wednesday in the regional semis at Lancaster's Beaver Field. And yes, Eastern Megs in Division 6, they were the top seed. They exploded for 8 runs in the 4th inning to rally past the Huntsman 9-6. And I believe the Huntsman jumped out to an early lead in that contest, and the district baseball crown goes to Eastern Megs there. That was Saturday at VA Memorial Stadium. Now, we usually have the podcast of the broadcast available for you. We were unable to get that put together until today, so this afternoon you'll be able to hear that broadcast with Mike Smith on Litter Media Well, it won't be on Litter Media Radio. It'll be on our Spreaker page. All right, so we'll share a link here on Facebook and on YouTube as well. All right, in the regional championship softball, the Hillsborough Lady Indians will take the school's first ever trip to the Final Four in the state in any sport, thanks to a 5-2 D4 championship win over Logan Elm, who advanced last season. Lancaster's Lady Gales won the D1 regional title. Liberty Union returns to Akron in defense of last year's state title in Division 5, while the Wheelersburg Pirates advance in the same division with a win over Wellston. Notre Dame heads to Akron with a victory over Sims Valley, and in D6, Portsmouth West fell to Sugar Creek Garraway 14-1. That was on Sunday, while Bloom Carroll also is a regional runner-up following a loss to Dover. So here is your Saturday and Sunday tournament scores you'll find available when you go to our website, littermedia.com. Just click on the scores, and it'll take you right to where you need to go to learn more. Gus Macker wrapped up its weekend with a successful run. Brian Grigsby of Southern Ohio Fellowship Christian Athletes may be with us this week for a follow-up interview to share some stories from the weekend of faith and basketball. And just give you a quick little teaser, he said that the high school kids were able to go out and witness to 500 to 1,000 people in the streets of Chillicothe. And they had 20 to 40 people come to an altar of prayer on Sunday. Wow. After a speaker from Syracuse was there. So he's got a lot of stories to share, and we hope to be able to give those to you this week.
Yeah. The Paints split a pair of games in Johnstown, winning 10-1 on Saturday, but falling 8-1 yesterday. They're off tonight and will host Johnstown tomorrow night and the Champion City Kings on Wednesday.
The Wright State Raiders, they turned some heads over the weekend, knocking off top seed Vanderbilt 5-4 in the College World Series of Baseball. Their thrill of victory was short-lived, though, as they fell to Louisville last night 6-0, sending the Cardinals into the Super Regionals. Others already in: UCLA, Texas San Antonio, Duke, Florida State, West Virginia, Arizona, Auburn, Coastal Carolina, and Arkansas. There are 6 more spots in the Sweet 16 to be determined, and I believe that'll happen today.
The Reds beat the Cubs 6-2 on Friday, lost 2-0 on Saturday, and then lost the series 7-3 yesterday. They opened a 6-game homestand, beginning with the Brewers tonight at Great American Ballpark and the Diamondbacks this weekend before heading to Cleveland next week.
And speaking of those Guardians, they took their final 2 games of their weekend set with the Angels after falling 4-1 on Friday. They won 7-5 on Saturday and 4-2 yesterday. The Guards are off today, and they'll be in New York with the Yankees for a 3-game set beginning tomorrow night.
More than a dozen area athletes advanced to the OHSAA Track and Field Championships following top 4 finishes at the regionals. You can find details on our website, littermedia.com.
Tiger Town Showdown golf outing is coming up. That'll be June 28th at Dogwood Hills to benefit the Waverly High School baseball program. And Lancaster Parks and Recreation has registration for Youth Fall Flag Football. That is open until June 20th. If you'd like to learn more about all of that, you can find those shared on our Facebook page.
Is there an age limit for this?
That I can't tell you.
It says pre-K through 6th grade. I think that's what that says up there.
Okay.
So I'm too old.
You've got a better look at it than I do. I've got a camera. It's sitting right in front of that image, and I was able to see that. So, all right. Again, find more details when you go to our Facebook page. Coming up in just a moment, This Date in History, we don't have an image for.
Yeah. Dan dropped the ball on that.
I tried to put one together briefly, but I couldn't perform today.
Well, you know where Babe Ruth played.
Yes.
So we could use this again.
We could, and that building I don't think was built.
No, probably not.
For today.
We could say it's a baseball bat.
It may have been. Details are coming up in just a moment.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Time for this date in history on Litter Media. Again, no prepared image for this. However, I thought we threw this thing out, but we didn't.
No, we're keeping it. We're
keeping
gonna frame it.
We're gonna give it a frame.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're gonna put it on your desk.
It should be on Mike's desk in his house. 1935, Babe Ruth retired from 22 years of playing Major League Baseball. He, on this date, played only briefly with the Boston Braves. But Ruth, of course, played for Boston and played most famously for the New York Yankees, where you can see this image,
the Chrysler Building,
out of the Chrysler Building in New York City, and it looks just like that. 714 home runs in his career until Hank Aaron broke that, and he went on to hit yet even more. And then would come Barry Bonds, and he would hit even more. And Mark McGwire. What do you remember that baseball season in which Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Barry Bonds were batting?
Was I alive?
I'm trying to remember.
I was born in 2000.
You were born in 2000. That might have been 1998. So no, you weren't around yet. But having said that, it was crazy listening to the radio because we, the WPEX, carried the Reds broadcasts, but we also had an agreement with Westwood One. And Westwood One had Major League Baseball games that were spread throughout the week. So if the Reds weren't playing, we would pick up a Westwood One game. And one of the nights was when they were trying to see who could win or really win the home run crown for the season. Now, Sammy Sosa, I think, trailed off, but Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds were still going at it. And I can't remember which one it was, but one of them hit 72 home runs in a season.
Wow.
It was incredible. And to see that battle, it was like every night on SportsCenter, you were seeing McGwire, Bonds, and Sosa highlights for weeks in September. It was incredible. Yeah. So
you know what, though? Ted Williams is the greatest hitter of all time.
He is. You can say, well, then you got the hit king, Pete Rose. But for consistency, Ted Williams was your guy because he batted over 400 for his career. Nobody's been able to really do that.
Nope.
I think there's been a couple guys come close to it, but no one has dominated like he did back in the day. All right. Anything else you want to share? I mean, you took a baseball history class.
I did take a history of baseball class taught by Mark Smith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I probably didn't retain as much of that knowledge as I should have.
And Mark could probably tell you why, but we'll not go into that right now.
It's because I don't watch baseball. I'm not really the biggest baseball fan in the world.
Uh-huh. You just saw easy credit.
No, I didn't see that. I wanted to take a Mark Smith class.
Gotcha.
I did well in it. I think I either got a B+ or an A-.
Why not an A+?
Because I was a freshman and it was a junior level class.
We'll go with that.
It was.
All right, that's it for the program today. Mike, I believe, returns tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
You better.
He's got some baseball that he'll be keeping an eye on. A lot of high school stuff going on still. Again, the girls are at the state level at the softball. The boys are at the regional level with baseball this week. So he'll keep us up to date with the scores. And you just follow along on our Litter Media X page as well as Facebook and at littermedia.com. So for this guy, Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching. Back at it again tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.